Good morning, Hannah. Here's your machine, the Breville Barista Express BES870 in silver. As we've discussed, this is a demo video just to show you the machine working and teach you a few tips and tricks. So I'm just going over the condition of the machine. So it's very clean. Like I said, it's one of my cleanest. And apart from a few light scratches here and this thing, it's pretty much as new. Front panel, side panel, top, right hand side, rear panel, everything's pretty much untouched. These scratches here, honestly, they are inevitable. They will happen and start appearing even when you have the machine for a week or a month. Trust me, I've been there. So this is nothing, literally. Cool, I'll show you how I like to do my coffees. So the first thing you want to do is obviously make sure the machine has enough water and beans, and that the drip tray is not full, which this one is close to being full. I like to begin with a blank shot, so just pressing the 2-cup button to warm up the machine and the handle. And the cup as well, if you put the cup underneath. These buttons are programmable, so this is, I think, is 60 grams, and this one's 40 grams of water, more or less. If you want to reset them at any time to factory, just hold the program button, it'll reset the volumetric settings, but you can also program them to your own liking, if that was not what you like. So if this is too much water for your coffees, you can reduce this to much less. You want to do that with coffee in the handle though. Now that the machine is hot, the cup is hot, I'll take out the portafilter, dump out the water. I'll grab a tissue and dry the portafilter. You want to have a dry portafilter before grinding, so that the grinds don't clump, ruining your shot. You can use a scale to sort of measure two things. Firstly, the ground coffee that you put in, and secondly, the amount of coffee, so espresso that comes out. I'm going to do both. So this is the 2-cup basket, and Breville recommends 18 grams. So if you have a scale, watch what I'm doing. If not, it's fine. You can still use a machine without a scale. So I'll turn on my scale here. And I'll just press this to grind. Grind size at the moment is at number 6, which I find to be quite fine for the beans that I'm using. I'm using the Aldi medium dark beans. These are pretty good. This is the grind amount. So sorry, with the grind size, you want to adjust this as needed. I think 6 is good, so try that. If your coffee is coming out quickly and you're getting low pressure, make it finer. If the coffee is coming out slowly and the pressure is too high, make it coarser. I hope that makes sense. It'll be in the manual somewhere. Yeah. And this is the dose, so how much coffee to grind. So you can also select single and double. This will double the amount that it grinds for. I personally like to keep it on single and do it twice. That way I can measure the mass halfway and press it down, just to make it a little bit less of a mess. Cool. So I usually put it around 1 o'clock and see where we go from there. Okay, that's quite a lot of coffee. That's 11 grams. Okay, I'm going to dial it back to about 10 o'clock here. So not quite 12 o'clock. So I'm going to keep it at 12 o'clock and let's see how we go. So now it's, I'm going to try to get about 18 grams. So every press of the button here should give you about 9 grams. So let's see if we've done that. So this is 9. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. This is about 8.5. So if you keep it here, you should get about 9 grams every time. Do experiment and see how you go, but try with these settings. Grind size number 6, grind amount at, what's this? Yeah, I would say this is 11 o'clock. Okay, now that I've got about 17.5 grams, I'm going to press it down. So I want to do this with even pressure all across the tamp. And twist it at the end just to polish it. Cool. This is what you want it to look like. This is 18 grams. If you don't have a scale, an easy way to know that you have 18 grams is that after you've tamped it down, the tamper only goes as deep as this silver cap. So put in all the force that you can, like this. This is pretty much the hardest I can press, and it's only going to go this deep, as deep as the silver cap. So this is about 17.5, 18 grams. So that's an easy to know indicator. If it's more, that's more than 18 grams. So if it doesn't go deep, so if it only goes this deep, then that's more than 18. And if it sinks into the handle, then that's less than 18 grams. The same applies for the single and double baskets, which this one comes with. As I said, they're all hidden in here. You want to tamp as deep as this tamper line here. Cool. Clean the edges and twist. So you don't want to twist it all the way if it's hard. If it's sort of firm at 6 o'clock here, so dead center, keep it there. If you can, maybe push it a little bit more to 5 o'clock, but don't force it. You don't want to put any weight or stress on the machine. Cool. That's my shot ground. Always make sure you use fresh-ish coffee. So this is the Aldi, so it's a Superstore. It's a store-bought bean. You can improve your coffees and pressure in grinding if you use freshly roasted beans. Those will be a bit more expensive, but you'll get better results. I like to use the Aldi because it tastes decent and it's very good for the price. And as you can tell, I grind a lot of coffee and I make a lot of coffee, so this makes sense for me. But yeah, I'm not gonna ramble on for ages. I'm gonna dump out the hot water from my cup. This is the stage where you want to add any sugar or syrups or sweetener before you do the espresso. And so I use my scale to dose 18 grams of ground coffee. I'm going to double that amount in terms of water output. So I mean coffee output, liquid coffee. So I'm going to use the scale to dose about 36, maybe 40 grams of espresso. And I'm going to set it up for you. So if you press program and then press the 2 cup button, or whichever button you want to program of these two, the machine will enter programming mode, and then press the button again to start programming. The machine will give you coffee. So press the button again when you are happy with the volume. So let's do that. I know what 40 grams is by eye, so I'm going to do that. You also want to keep an eye on the pressure. You want it to be between 11 and 1 o'clock, and the flow should be nice and smooth. Okay, this is a little bit too fast. I might dial that down a little bit. So I'll stop it there. This looks to me about 40 grams. Could be wrong though. Yeah, that's 45. So you want it to be just below here. So let's pause the video and try again. Okay, let's do this again. So I'm going to show you how to adjust the grind size. So you want to do it only when the grinder is spinning. So maybe grab the lid or something like that. Put it this way. Press it and then start changing the dial. So I'm going to push it down to 4. At the moment it's at 6. 4 is a bit finer. Okay, you don't want to go more than two steps at a time. Otherwise you might risk damaging the machine if you're going way too fine all at once. You want to only go as fine as necessary. You don't want to stress your machine, as I said. And I'm saying this just to help you prolong the life of your machine. This is how you'll get your machine to last more than 10 years. Cool, so this is quite fine. At number 4. Let's try that again. Reset the scale. when you change the number, you might need to change this number as well, so this dial as well. You can fill the water tank by removing it, or what I like to do is just open it like this. And always make sure you have the right amount of water, otherwise the machine will scream at you if it's running out of water. Yes, so this is my first dose. See what that is. Cool, that's about 9 grams. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to press it and do that again. Righty. .5, maybe a touch more. And that should be 18. Sweet. Okay. Again, really quickly, I'm not going to over the same steps, just flatten it with your palm. Tap it firmly. Clean the edges. Let's try that again. So I'm going to reprogram the button once more to make it about 36. Again, keep an eye on the flow. You want it to be nice and smooth. You want the pressure to be around 12 o'clock. That looks better. Maybe a touch too fine, so see from now on, if I put it at, say, number 5 should be perfect from now on. So it's the flow is nice and slow, it's actually not too bad. So yeah, from now on, keep it at, let's say, number 5. And I'm going to stop it there. That should be about 35. Cool, that's 40 grams. I'm happy with that. This is more than a decent shot. So again, you want to look at the pressure, but more importantly, the flow and the taste. So if it tastes sour, bitter, you want to adjust it accordingly. There's heaps of tutorials on YouTube, and it should be in the manual as well. Cool, that's the espresso. I don't have any milk at the moment, so I'm just going to show you the steam working and the technique. So the technique you want to use is start with cold milk. Always fill the jug just below the spout, maybe here, for a double shot latte. And when you steam, you want the jug to be sort of at an angle, either this way or this way. If doing it from here, I like to do it like this. So not dead straight, you want it to be at an angle. And that's to create a vortex. So at an angle, going close to the edges, creating a vortex. That will spin the milk and help ensures the texture is mixed. And you want to keep the tip close to the surface. This is important to inject air into the milk. If you don't do this, the milk will come out flat. And if you do it for too long, it will be more of a cappuccino rather than a latte. So you want to hold this position. Oops, sorry about that. You want to hold this position for about, say, 20 seconds, spinning the milk, keeping it close to the surface. And after 20 seconds, you want to raise the jug, so raise it, to stop the aeration and only spinning the milk now. This way you don't make it way too bubbly or too volumetric. And yeah, once it gets hot enough for your liking, or let's say for my liking, it's when I can't touch the milk jug for more than half a second. That's what I like to do it. That's what I like to do, and that's about 60 degrees Celsius. When you turn it off, you want to purge it, and then the purging will clean the insides and also wiping it with a clean cloth. That's important for the longevity of your machine. Again, let's turn it on. It's a single boiler machine, so it will have to switch between milk and coffee. So now it's at coffee on the coffee setting. So if we switch it to milk, it'll warm up. We'll give it a few seconds. The longer you wait, the stronger the steam will become. So. There we go, that's about full pressure. So once you start getting steam, turn it off. Put your jug, turn it back on. And when you're done, just point it down, purge it one more time. And then wipe it off. The machine now will cool down and go back to coffee mode. If you turn it off for more than 5 seconds. And now it's ready to make another latte. As you see the buttons light up. Yeah. So it'll bring steam out just to, as I said, it's flushing the boiler, and that's to allow you to go back to the cooler temperature that is for making espresso. Making espresso is at 93 degrees Celsius. Steaming is at closer to 110 degrees Celsius. Cool, and yeah, always make sure the drip tray is in place. If you take the drip tray out when the machine is making the coffee or steaming, you'll have a mess on your hands because the machine will need the drip tray on when it's being used. I think that's all I need to show you. Everything else, you can pretty much ask me or reach out at any time if you have any questions. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. Hope you enjoy the machine. And any questions or queries, or issues actually, just message me. I'm always there to help. And in the meantime, I'll see you soon. Cheers.